All right, let's get Last Week in Stupid rolling with my favorite highly paid retard, Rachel Maddow. Maddow said that the Navy hospital ships that were promised by Trump were nowhere in sight. Oh, yes, she did.
Of the happy talk we've had on this front from the federal government, there is no sign that the Navy hospital ships that the president made such a big deal of, the Comfort and the Mercy, there's no sign that they'll be anywhere on site helping out anywhere in the country for weeks yet.
And you know what happened next, right? That's right. When the ships come sailing in. So Rachel Maddow's got egg on her face again. So what? Big deal. Happens all the time. She looks good as a souffle. But fast forward to the end of the week and these big hospital ships that sailed in. One of them's got 15 patients on board out of a 1,000 capacity, and the other one's only got 3. So far at least, it appears as if the extra capacity is really not needed. And speaking of capacity, here was the scene at my local hospital.
Looking in the lobby here. Got one guy watching TV. That's it. There's nobody here. It is frickin' empty.
But for some reason, the entire city I live in has been shut down. We're on 10 p.m. curfew. The cops will arrest you if you're seen so much as walking around. Now, I know some of you are getting ready to explain the exponential function to a dumbass like me. But before you go and get all wound up, let me explain a different function called open your fucking eyeballs. Here's another report from the supposed epicenter of the outbreak in New York.
And this morning, the city's hospitals will be on the front lines in this war against the coronavirus. In Elmhurst, Queens, that hospital there, lines of people lining up already this morning for about the last 45 minutes. Confirmed cases, people waiting to get tested. Supplies are in demand there.
Somebody said there would be hordes of people inside. That's why I didn't go in. Let's see. The doctor with his mask on and everything. And look at that. Nobody. Completely empty. There's just police, no EMS.
So it turns out that there's some kind of a disconnect between what the media reports and the actual situation in reality. Now, I know, I see all the websites showing the number of stats of infections and death, and they're all going up, and your friend got sick, and yada, yada, yada. But it turns out that overall death rates remain unchanged. So this is looking more and more like an accounting error. In the UK, overall death rates are on track for normal so far. And of course, the UK was going to avoid lockdowns altogether and pursue a herd immunity approach until the wiseacres over at the Imperial College made a model predicting that 500,000 people were to die. You know, the problem with models are 1, garbage in, garbage out, and 2, people who don't know any better but are in positions of power acting on them anyways. The UK has seen no overall increase in deaths, and the model has now been revised downwards, way downwards. But too late, this lockdown power is so addicting. Even in the USA, Dr. Fauci, has downgraded his ridiculous estimate of 1.7 million dead down to 200,000, and it seems to be going down even more from there. Gee, only missed it by 10 times. But Mengele still wants to enforce social distancing, etc. forever. Excuse me? Who put this little Nazi in charge? Oh, you think I've gone too far with the Nazi bit? Well, in the UK, they're talking about immunity passports. You know, so when you're walking around, minding your own business, the the police can say, "Show me your papers, please." Meanwhile, lawyers in China are getting ready to sue the USA for covering up the true origins of the Kung Flu, prompting human rights lawyer Su Muking to say, "There are too many clowns in the legal profession." I can't say I disagree with that. Speaking of clowns, the United Nations wants to impose a worldwide 10% tax, shared responsibility payment to address the coronavirus. Address it how? Get bent. I say we declare war in the United Nations. No taxation without representation. While the UN is worried about getting paid, the large brains over at the Atlantic have much more serious things on their mind. Yes, they're worried that coronavirus might be racist. Oh my God. Let us pray that it disproportionately kills white people so the large brains at the Atlantic will sleep easy tonight and we can all be forgiven for not being racist. Let us pray. Well, let's take a break from COVID insanity to visit the wonderful world of Joe Biden, who was recently accused of sexual assault by an ex-staffer. Now, as I recall, the slogan of the Me Too movement was that all women must be believed. Well, apparently that's been amended to mean, not this woman. Move along, people. Nothing to see here. Well, a friend of mine expressed some confusion over why Trump's poll numbers were going up during this crisis. And what entailed was a long string of explanations by people living inside the same bubble that my friend lives in. Their explanations went everything from tribalism to it's a hoax, to riding on the credibility of doctors, to polling fraud, to Hitler was popular too, you know. And you know, these people can't figure out why they can't figure out what they can't figure out. Well, I'm going to see you in November, tards. Well, speaking of tards, here's a new theory for you. Mother Nature sent the coronavirus to shut down the economy because we weren't doing enough to fight climate change. Yeah, all the leaves in the forest got together and discussed it with the Illuminati of bat guano to unleash the New World moron. Oh man, don't you just hate those science deniers? And in the ongoing chloroquine denial drama, a poll of 6,000 doctors around the world chose Trump's drug as their preferred treatment. And in New York, a Dr. Zelenko finds a 100% success rate with more than 300 patients, 0 fatalities and none needing a ventilator. Now, is that a clinical trial with double-blind controls? No, but it sounds like pretty good news to me. And how does the leftist media cover this good news? Oh no, it's all a conspiracy. They're just trying to make this doctor into a right-wing superstar. Yeah, we don't want to save any people here. And you know, according to a number of my Facebook friends like this one here, they're looking forward to some experimental drug has been shown to kill COVID in the lab. Attention, dipshit, there's already a drug that's killing it outside the lab. Earth to moron. You know, I think this cartoon sums it up pretty well. COVID-19 is killing people, and it's all Trump's fault. Well, here's a cure. I don't want a cure. I want it to be Trump's fault. But don't worry, super genius Elon Musk is here to help save the day when he donated a bunch of ventilators to hospitals. You know, after slapping a Tesla logo on all the boxes. But oops, turns out the ventilators were actually sleep apnea machines. I guess this wasn't the same guy that donated a submarine for the cave rescue. Oh well, go back to smoking a blunt on Rogan there, Musk. And finally, a man in Malibu was out paddle-boarding in the middle of the Pacific Ocean, hundreds of meters away from any human being, when police showed up to arrest him. Why? Oh, well, for disobeying social distancing rules. Did I mention he was in the middle of the ocean? Alone? And that right there, ladies and gentlemen, is the genius of government solutions in a nutshell. Extra nutty version. Well, that's it for this week in Stupid. Let us pray that something stupid happens next week that's not related to coronavirus, because I, for one, am just about sick and tired of it. But I doubt it's going to happen. Anyways, we can hope. Peace out till next time.